This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Fatal fire. One person is dead in a multi-unit apartment blaze in the town of Bridgewater.
In the dark, a visually impaired Cape Breton woman says the local theatre's broken accessibility gear left her excluded.
And the family of the only Nova Scotian on Canada's World Cup team says his success has been a team effort.
Friday, another warm one, but sea breeze is having a big impact with a chance for some showers as well. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening and welcome to our Prince Edward Island viewers who are joining us tonight due to some technical difficulties in Charlottetown. A fatal fire in Bridgewater has left one person dead and multiple people displaced after tearing through two buildings on Wednesday. While
police and fire officials continue their investigation, the local community is already rallying together to support those who lost everything. Alex Guy reports.
You could still smell smoke in the King Street and Dufferin Street area of Bridgewater Thursday afternoon. A fire the day before ripped through a multi-unit apartment building, claiming the life of one person and damaging another building next to it. Videos posted on social media showed a plume of black smoke billowing into a blue sky. A local who witnessed the fire says he saw smoke on his way back from getting coffee with a friend. When he approached, he began recording to try to tell people to avoid the area.
The owner of the building, second building, came with the keys, opened the door. They were yelling. It was full-scale panic.
One building experienced major damage and a second to its roof and side. A small red car parked in between the two buildings was also badly damaged.
It still gives me the shivers, right? Spine. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, very, especially for the people that are now homeless, and I'm hearing there's one person that didn't make it.
Bridgewater Police Deputy Chief Danny McPhee says the person who died was someone living in a basement unit. The family has been notified, and police did not provide any more details. All other tenants are accounted for.
We have been speaking to the family to aid us in that identification. And we'll be working with the medical examiners for that.
Mayor David Mitchell says fires like this are rare in this community.
What I saw yesterday when I was on scene was a lot of community support. Obviously beyond the mutual aid of the fire departments, a lot of people messaging, can I bring food, can I bring water, not just to the first responders, but people saying, does anyone need a place to stay, offering up offering a place to stay. So it's very much impacted a tight-knit community.
Multiple fire departments from the surrounding area responded to the fire, all volunteer. McPhee stressed that fire trucks arrived as soon as they were able to, some coming from as far away as New Minas. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Alex Guy, CBC News, Bridgewater.
The union representing long-term care workers in Nova Scotia says its lead table has ratified a tentative agreement. The agreement was ratified Wednesday night. CUPE says it was successful in fighting for a minimum $5 raise for all workers. The tentative agreement will now be presented to members across the province for a vote. Long-term care workers have been on strike since April 13th.
Construction is underway for a new student residence at Dalhousie University in Halifax. The school says it can help the local housing crisis, but others say the project does not make sense as the school faces financial issues. The CBC's Haley Ryan has that story.
Dalhousie University has begun construction on its first new student residence in Halifax in more than a decade. The new 6-story building behind the Dalhousie Arts Centre will house about 213 students in apartment-style units with multiple bedrooms, kitchens, and laundry. The building is aimed at upper-year undergrad or graduate students who don't want dorm living.
Get some students into that building who might have otherwise have difficulty finding good, affordable housing to meet their needs on the peninsula.
The school says pricing has not been decided yet, but they will aim for below-market rent.
Anything universities can do to provide more housing on campus for their students, really helps the community that's surrounding.
The university says most of the $67 million cost will be covered through debt, fundraising, and they hope government funding. The school was also being pushed to build the residence by the provincial government. Dalhousie had to have the project ready to go by this February, or the province would hold back $20 million in annual funding.
I mean, that's bullying. That's like Trump behavior. Let's call it what it is. I mean, it's totally inappropriate.
Westwood says it does not make sense for Dalhousie to take on an expensive residence project when international student enrollment is down. The school also started last year in a multi-million-dollar deficit, and Dalhousie's finances were cited as a key challenge during the faculty union's contract negotiations and lockout last fall.
I mean, this could bankrupt Dalhousie pretty quickly. Again, I come back to the fact that on the face of it, this looks like an absolutely terrible decision.
But the Dalhousie Student Union says finding safe, affordable housing in Halifax remains a top issue for students, and everything helps.
For students in general, I feel like housing step moving forward, it's a very good step.
8 houses that are mostly a century old are also being demolished for the project. 2 on Seymour Street have already come down, while 6 on Henry Street are fenced off. Halifax staff ruled they had low potential for heritage registration. The residence is expected to open fall 2028. Haley Ryan, CBC News, Halifax.
Well, going to the movies is a favorite pastime for many, but for moviegoers with vision loss, accessibility services are crucial. But as the CBC's Anna Rack reports, one Cape Breton woman says a local theater's repeated technical issues left her in the dark.
Kim Bates lives in Bateston with her guide dog, Georgia. She is totally blind in her left eye and has center vision in her right eye. As an avid moviegoer, she says described video services, which uses a headset to describe what's happening on the screen, makes a big difference.
It's life-changing, really. The experience of being in the theater, seeing, quote-unquote, everything that everybody, you all are seeing.
But she hasn't been able to experience that recently. She says she's been trying to go to the Cineplex in Sydney multiple times in the last 3 years. Each time, she's been told the service is down. Bates says she's contacted guest services multiple times with no reply.
Well, they tell me they're waiting for parts. Yeah. So I wanted to see one particular movie, and the management at the local Cineplex told me they would send me an email when it was ready to go so I could come back, but I've never heard from them.
Cineplex declined an interview, but in a statement says, "We take accessibility seriously and are committed to providing an accessible and inclusive experience for all guests." They go on to say, the described services technology is working at Cineplex Sydney in all auditoriums but one. After being contacted by CBC, a technician has since fixed the issue and staff have been given training manuals on the system.
If it's available in other places like other cities that have Cineplex, then why can't we have it here when it should be available and we shouldn't have to ask for it? It should be advertised.
Last year, the Built Environment Accessibility Standard became law in Nova Scotia. It sets mandatory requirements to remove barriers in buildings and public spaces. Compliance for new builds began in early April.
So if this is something that's not going to be working, because it's an older build, they may get some feedback on it, but it's something that they're going to have to improve.
Because there's nothing worse than everybody else laughs and I have no idea what's happened on the screen.
Bates says it's important for theaters to offer disability services so everyone can enjoy the show. Anna Rack, CBC News, Sydney.
Great looking day in Nova Scotia. Here's Ryan with a quick look at the weather.
Yes, and warm.
Hot. Steamy. It was really our first taste of humidity this season. And yeah, it was definitely a cooker out there. 30 in Truro, and that was one of our hottest spots today. Greenwood at 29, Kedzie at 28, Parsboro at 28, the airport, inland areas of Halifax 28, 29 Antigonish. So yeah, widespread warm temps. Now tomorrow, a dramatic shift for those in the onshore winds, which will be from the northeast, east, and southeast. That easterly flow tomorrow. So yeah, forecast high in Sydney, 12. Looking at 20, though, Port Hawkesbury, and I think we'll be at 24 in Shetticamp. It's all about the wind tomorrow. Warmest temperatures, Truro, Hants, back through the Annapolis Valley. And so that is going to have a big impact in terms of, obviously, your temperatures. Now, as we work our way into the weekend, we are looking at some wet weather, unfortunately, for Saturday building in. We'll walk you through the full weekend timeline coming up.
We'll want to know. Thanks,
Thank you, Ryan. Today, communities across Nova Scotia marked Davis Day, also known as Miners' Memorial Day. It remembers lives lost in the province's coal mines. Luke Ettinger reports.
Dozens of roses marking lives lost in Spring Hill's coal mines. This Davis Day, there's one for each miner killed in a year ending in 6, including the first death in these collieries in 1876. Arlene Bowden's father was one of the 39 miners who died 70 years ago in an explosion.
When that earth shook, you knew. When the ground underneath you shook, you knew what was happening there living in Spring Hill.
Today, all miners, including 125 who died in 1891 and 75 who died in 1958, were remembered by multiple generations.
I haven't been here in at least a decade, so it meant a lot to come here and hear everyone talk about their story.
About 150 people also gathered in Sydney. Davis Day commemorates the death of coal miner William Davis in Cape Breton. Originally from Spring Hill, Davis was killed by company police on June 11, 1925, during a labor strike in New Waterford.
This is the biggest crowd we've had in years, and it's so nice to see them all.
I didn't know my father because I was only 5 months old, but I knew him through the family stories.
Claire Canning and sister Kathy Fisher organized the annual event in Spring Hill, who lost their father in 1958. Luke Ettinger, CBC News, Spring Hill.
Well, after his historic trip around the moon 2 months ago, astronaut Jeremy Hansen landed in Halifax last night. Hansen, who was a member of the Artemis II, spoke at the Halifax Central Library. It was part of an event hosted by the Discovery Centre. He spoke about his time in space and about the importance of Canada's space sovereignty.
We rely on space every single day. We've been saying this for a long time. It's been true for a long time, but it's very easy for us to take it for granted. However, it is the reality. And is space the only way you can do things? No, it's not, but it's the way we did it, because when you have a space solution, you typically have a global solution. So for 8 billion people to evolve here on this planet, space is going to continue to be an important part of our future.
Hansen also visited Spaceport Nova Scotia in Canso on Wednesday to witness their rocket launch.
There will only be one player from Nova Scotia suiting up for Team Canada at the World Cup.
As Josh Hoffman tells us, his family says his success was a team effort.
This is where Team Canada forward Jacob Schaffelberg learned to play soccer. He and his siblings spent hours out here every night when they were young, which resulted in some changes to the childhood home.
The back door light has been replaced a couple times because that got taken off.
Outdoor lights, windows, and even eaves troughs had to be replaced due to soccer balls careening here and there. All of the repairs were worth it, though, now that Jacob has made Canada's squad for this year's World Cup.
I'm proud of him. And it's not just Jacob. I'm really proud of our family and the support that they give him. Like, his brother and sister have been key, I think, in Jacob's development.
The Schaffelbergs are a tight-knit bunch. Linda says every family member has played a role in helping Jacob get where he is now.
I'm excited, and it's really hard for me. He's such a close buddy.
Jacob has more than just family in his corner. His entire hometown and the surrounding area are eager to cheer on the local star.
He knows his role. He goes out and does it. But he really is a quintessential team player. Like, if you've watched him at all and his career grow, it's never been about me and my performance.
I remember seeing him when he was 7 or 8 years old and playing at at that time, RTC, our regional training center. And he was like, down here when everyone else was up here. And I remember seeing him at that age buzzing around all the other players and remember thinking to myself, that kid is special.
Many of Schaffelberg's supporters around here have watched him grow up as a player and a person. They say it's so easy to cheer for him on the field because of who he is off the field.
He's one of the nicest kids I've ever met, and anything that comes to him, he deserves it and more, because he's just a fantastic person.
No matter the outcome of the World Cup or how much Jacob plays, he's already a winner in the eyes of his family and friends. Josh Hoffman, CBC News, Port Williams.
The Falls in Victoria Park. Ryan's up next with a full weather forecast. Stay with us.
online.
Yeah, well, that was a nice summery day out there. Not pretty hot and even a little sticky.
Yeah, some folks getting the same, but not everybody tomorrow.
Yeah, and it was even today. I mean, along the coastline, you think about the heat and all that humidity in the air, that moisture in the air. So the fog monster was creeping around today for sure. When we look at the visible satellite, we could see it, and the webcams really show it nicely. Very popular spot, of course, Peggy's Cove. But if you were there, depended on what time of the day you were there, have a look at this. So this is a little time lapse. Not so bad this morning, but then, you can see that fog monster just kind of in and out and out and back in again. And, it's still a busy spot, even on those days where the fog is looming around. You can see the fog did clear away for a few hours and then back again. And so this is really going to be the name of the game, I think, again tomorrow, with that fog kind of looming along parts of the coast. And a live look at Peggy's right now, and more in than out.
Absolutely.
For sure. Thanks to Nova Scotia webcams for this. And as we look at those temperatures, right now it is 23 at Halifax Airport, 21 downtown, 27 Kentville, 28 Greenwood, 22 in Sydney, just 9 in Ingonish Beach, 30 in Truro, and that's one of our hot spots for today. Now, looking at the winds, again, it's all about the wind this time of year, and it has been more southerly today, helping to usher in this warmer, muggier air mass with those dew points that have been climbing up into the high teens and even near 20. As we walk you through the timeline, as we look at the weather systems map, that fog kind of looming along the coastline with this setup. And this is the system off to the west, which is really dividing the continent from the hot and sticky stuff and the not. 13 in Calgary, 13 in Regina, 3 in Churchill, Manitoba. And you can see that cooler air diving down even into the U.S. Iqaluit at 7 degrees, St. John's at 10. But the hot and sticky stuff pushing its way eastward. Now for tonight, we're going to be looking at temperatures generally in the 12 to 14 range across most of the mainland, a little cooler across Cape Breton, 8 to 12 there. Now, let's walk you through the timeline. You'll see the fog here in white working its way back inland. So the fog moves in for tonight. Fog patches setting up. If you're driving early in the morning tomorrow, be mindful that those fog patches will be thick in spots, especially near the coasts. And then throughout the day, the fog will retreat back to the coast. Note tomorrow afternoon, pop-up showers here. We have a southeast wind here, a northeast wind where these sea breezes are going to come in and hit that daytime heating. We're going to see lots of air rising up, cooling, condensing, turning into clouds, maybe even a rumble of thunder tomorrow, but that looks more likely across New Brunswick. For Cape Breton tomorrow, look at the temperature difference here. 12 in Sydney, 11 in Ingonish, but I think we'll be double that. Cheticamp, Inverness down through Port Hood with this easterly flow, nice and favorable for Inverness County. Similar story, Canso at 12, Antigonish at 24 degrees. And I think our warmest temperatures tomorrow, inland Pictou, across through Truro, Tatamagouche near 18, but 31 in Truro, Enfield 27, Windsor at 29, Parsborough at 30 tomorrow. It's going to be, again, southeast wind, northeast wind, so those temperatures are going to be capped in here in and around the Cobequid Bay area, the valley, Kedzie at 29 tomorrow. Bit of a light onshore flow even for Yarmouth, but it is all about the sea breeze tomorrow for sure. And the wind is going to have a big influence on Saturday's forecast temperatures as well. Have a look at the outlook here. Clouds from the get-go, showers most likely through the afternoon. And with this east to southeast flow, 10, 12 degrees, 14 New Glasgow, Truro, and then warming up into the 17, 18, maybe even 19 range, the valley back through Digby and into Yarmouth. So these are going to be our warmest spots. Not going to see the sun there, but we will be looking at the milder temperatures. And then for Sunday, as that trough moves out, we are looking at a mix of sun and cloud developing into the afternoon. Slight risk for a shower popping up where we do see the sun breaking through. It's going to be a west to east clear out on Sunday. So I think it'll be kind of later in the day in the east, but looks like earlier, maybe even by lunchtime in the west. So Sunday will be a variable day, but I think we'll get into the 20 to 24 range. Showers on Monday and lingering into Tuesday, and not bad temperature-wise into mid-next week, Tom and Amy.
Yeah, not so bad at all.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, Ryan, thanks so much.
Ryan.
Thank you.
A change in the federal haddock quota is having an effect on maritime restaurants.
It means your next plate of fish and chips could take a bigger bite out of your wallet. The CBC's Gwyneth Egan reports.
Fish and chips like these are a summer staple on PEI, but the cost of haddock is up this year, and restaurants are trying to keep pace.
We haven't made any adjustments to our menu in the last 2 years, just trying to do the right thing and help people out where we can, but we are going to have to make adjustments. The cost of everything is up, but in terms of fish in particular and haddock, it's going to be an ongoing issue throughout the summer in terms of trying to get supply of fresh haddock.
The Department of Oceans and Fisheries cut the haddock fishing quota to protect the stocks by up to 57% in one fishing area. That means there's less fish in the market, but still lots of demand.
It's difficult. Haddock has traditionally been a fairly affordable fish when you compare it to others. There was one point probably about a month ago where I could buy halibut fillets for about the same price as haddock fillets.
The Chip Shack has also had to raise prices, a decision the owner says wasn't easy.
I understand, like, my locals and my tourists, which I love deeply. It's tough right now, so it hurts me, it breaks my heart when I have to raise my prices.
The director of the Agri-Food Analytics Lab at Dalhousie University says these changes will hit restaurants harder than the daily shopper at the grocery store.
It's the nature of the sector, really. I mean, that's really what it is. I would say that probably timing is the worst for them because the summertime is really a big season for fish and chips. Restaurant operators are going to have to make a decision on whether or not to raise prices or to replace the product altogether.
Campbell says he's heard whispers of possible alternatives like hake or pollock, but for now, he's sticking with haddock.
I don't know that it's that dire yet, but the fact that we're talking about alternatives and other possibilities is a little scary. It's something to monitor for sure.
Campbell says even though the quota cuts hurt financially right now, he hopes the measures will help keep the ocean strong and keep haddock on plates for years to come. Gwyneth Egan, CBC News, Charlottetown.
Coming up, a closer look at the data and privacy implications of Canada's proposed social media ban for youth under 16. federal government has introduced legislation that, among other things, would restrict access to social media platforms for kids under the age of 16. The bill is the latest attempt by the Liberals to create some form of law that addresses online harms. Michael Karanicolas is an associate professor at Dalhousie University. He's edited a recent publication by the school's Information Policy Lab on this issue. So great to get to talk to you today about this, sir. Let's start with the federal government bill to ban online access for many teens. How do you feel about the government's approach here?
So there's a lot to unpack about this legislation. It's a sprawling bill. There's a lot of different components to it. Some, I think, are broadly positive, including transparency and process and data access requirements for a lot of these online platforms. There is a social media, there is a rule that's couched in somewhat confusing terms around social media access for under 16s. It's been popularly framed as a ban. Essentially what it is it empowers an independent regulator to list certain social media platforms which must cut off content for people under 16. But then it also allows for an avenue for exemptions for certain platforms if they can demonstrate child safety. So it is, I think, functionally meant to restrict significantly youth access to social media platforms. But there's a number of caveats to that. And it's the whole thing is going to, I think, take quite a long time to roll out.
Okay, and if I understand your point of view as it's been reported before, you agree that social media and online culture can, in some cases, be harmful to children, but fixing it or attempting to fix it could do harm as well. Is that fair?
I think that my main concern involves, well, there's two main concerns that I have. One involves cutting off youth access to social media platforms altogether. Like it or not, these communication tools are a fundamental aspect of the information economy. They're the core of the way that young people and all people use to communicate with the world. So it's going to be a very significant impact on freedom of expression, on people's Section 2B Charter rights to restrict access by young people. And the other issue that I have a problem with is the age verification component to this. There's a number of provisions of the bill that are going to mandate that online service providers track the ages and identities of the people that are using their systems, and it's a significant expansion in surveillance. Now, I should also mention that a lot of the transparency and procedural and accountability components to this legislation, I think, are broadly positive. And I agree that platforms need to be regulated, but I agree that the regulation needs to be stepped up. But there are aspects of the current draft that are concerning.
Okay, you hinted at a privacy concern there. What exactly is the privacy concern?
So it's one thing to say that people that are under 16 shouldn't access social media apps, or to say that people that are under 18 shouldn't access adult content online. But the trick comes in determining how old all of the different users are. Remember, these aren't face-to-face interactions. They're happening over the internet. It's difficult for platforms to track who's sitting in front of a particular screen. So in order to determine the age of their users to a legal degree of certainty, or to a verifiable degree, to an auditable degree, which they're required to do under the Act to demonstrate compliance, there's going to need to be a significant increase in surveillance and data collection by these platforms, which most likely is going to involve some form of showing identification. I mean, people have suggested that this can come through age estimation, but again, if you're requiring platforms to do this in a verifiable way, age estimation tools, which are just estimating the age of a user based on a photograph of them or the way that they appear, the inaccuracy of those tools means that platforms are most likely going to have to default to forcing users to show physical identification, government identification, which is a significant invasion of privacy.
I know that we have heard about this kind of legislation in other parts of the world. Any sense of how well it is working elsewhere?
Yeah, so the UK has passed a similar online harms bill, I think about a year ago, that was meant to limit underage people's access to adult content. The immediate impact of that was VPN usage shot up. Some of the kind of stories about the inefficacy of age estimation technology come from the UK. There's stories about kids fooling age estimation systems, in some cases by like drawing a fake mustache on their face. So it hasn't been promising there. In Australia, they enacted what was meant to be a total social media ban. Well, I should say it was a ban of prescribed social media applications, which are typically the big ones. But recent reporting has indicated that about 70% of kids still have social media accounts. That said, it remains to be seen as to whether they're going to crack down more forcefully on that. But anybody who has kids, who has familiarity with kids, who's been a teenager, can know that young people are very ingenious and determined when it comes to finding ways around prohibitions on things that they're not supposed to do. So it shouldn't be surprising that implementation and compliance are going to be a challenge.
Okay, and enforcement may be an issue as well, as you point out. Might this bill, or will this bill, withstand a charter challenge, if it even comes to that?
So if Canada tried to adopt the Australia model, which is to essentially say tomorrow, nobody under 16 can have a social media account, I think there would be a very strong case for a Section 2B challenge on account of the, hundreds of thousands or millions of young people who have these social media accounts, who don't want to lose them, who use them to communicate about matters of political importance, to communicate with their friends, their families, to access information. All of these are critical aspects of freedom of expression. So there's certainly a violation. The question of whether the court might find that justified is a more difficult question. And it's also slightly complicated by the convoluted way that this legislation approaches it. Because again, we're not talking about a ban right out of the gate. There's an immediate provision for banning access among certain prescribed social media platforms by an arm's length independent entity, which is going to need to get set up first. And then it's only once that a ban has been established, there are also avenues to challenge it by platforms claiming that they have taken certain measures to make their systems child safe. So it's a bit of a convoluted process, and I think it's going to be a bit complicated to bring a challenge for that reason. I mean, that said, fundamentally, the mechanics of this aren't that different than what we're talking about in Australia or elsewhere. It's a mechanism to crack down on the ability of young people to access social media accounts. And while I certainly agree that there needs to be done in terms of improving the design and safety of these platforms, and I applaud those aspects of the legislation, I think moves to cut kids off of social media are likely to have a lot of negative consequences.
Yeah, lots to watch for sure. Thank you so much for this.
Thanks so much for having me.
Coming up, tension over the new Windsor to Detroit bridge continues as the opening is officially delayed.
And the Pope urges compassion for migrants and asylum seekers during a visit to Spain as tensions rise across Europe. Welcome back. A new bridge connecting Windsor, Ontario and Detroit was supposed to officially open on Friday.
But the opening of the Gordie Howe Bridge has been delayed. Rafi Boudjikanian explains why.
All set to open tomorrow until it was not. The Gordie Howe Bridge connecting Windsor to Detroit.
We have a few remaining issues that we want to work through with the United States. We've had conversations with the state of Michigan this week. I've had conversations with senior officials. I know Ambassador Wiseman and Ambassador Hoekstra have been very involved in this.
The announcement came through a terse statement from the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority, saying the span will be a vital economic link for Canada and the United States, that they're taking a collaborative approach and have agreed to delay the opening, taking the necessary time to resolve any outstanding issues.
Disappointed, for sure. If the bridge doesn't open and if you still have to go through Sarnia, long hour waiting times, that's gonna screw up everything.
It would be so much nicer to have a new bridge to cross, so easier and faster.
Canada paid $6.4 billion to build the bridge to be recouped in tolls. The initial plan called for the two countries only to start sharing the profits from those fees afterwards.
I can't see any other explanation why this would not have moved forward but for Donald Trump's intervention to say that he will not staff and allow this bridge to open. Canadians paid for this bridge, and I don't want to see our government go on bent knee to the White House to get this bridge open. We'll wait for a good deal.
Trump has included the lack of immediate payments for the U.S. among his complaints about trade between the two countries. Just yesterday, musing again about the existing free trade deal between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico.
I don't know that I'm going to renew it because, to be honest with you, the United States does much better. Hey, we don't need anything that Canada has.
The federal government said the U.S. had a list of 36 outstanding trade issues with Canada, and they resolved many. As for the bridge, today, Michigan State Republicans said they want a 50-50 split on tolls as soon as it opens. Rafi Boudjikanian, CBC News, Ottawa.
A police officer has been killed on duty in Toronto. There could be a connection to a national security incident in March. Officer Mark Pinizotto was carrying out a search warrant at an apartment when he was shot and later died. Pinizotto was 43 and had been on the force for 18 years.
Well, I think there's a deep sadness and sorrow. I'm not sure what more to say. There's a very heavy sorrow in our community right now, and these moments reflect or remind us of just the dangers our members face.
A suspect was also shot in the incident and is in hospital. Another person fled the scene. Police say he is armed and dangerous. The police chief said Pinizotto had been involved in conducting searches pertaining to multiple shootings, including one that occurred in March at the U.S. consulate in Toronto.
The Carney government has unveiled a multi-billion-dollar plan to bring down high food prices. Part of its aim is to break the hold giant grocery retailers have on what we buy and how much it costs. The CBC's Aaron Collins has the details.
At grocery stores across the country, a familiar story. Sky-high prices making it harder for Canadians to fill their carts and their cars.
It's on my mind. It's on everyone's mind, yeah.
Are you spending more at the grocery store?
Oh, double.
You just got to really pick and choose what you buy, and a lot of things you just overlook.
Things have gone up just in the last 3 months, probably about 20%.
Ottawa announcing more than $3 billion in spending to address those concerns. The National Food Security Strategy focuses on 4 pillars: increasing competition by making it easier for independent grocers to compete, boosting the amount of Canadian food that's processed where it's grown, investing to expand the amount of food grown year-round in this country, and cutting red tape to make it easier to get more food on Canadian shelves. Needed changes to a food system under pressure, according to some industry watchers, but perhaps not enough.
I'm worried that the sorts of solutions that we're talking about here are medium-term to long-term fixes. They're not
going to address the root causes of food insecurity, which is linked with low wages, high costs, and frankly, very expensive rent.
Today's plan comes a week after millions of lower-income Canadians began receiving extra cash to help with essentials. But for many Canadians, worries about food prices linger.
Everybody's got to eat, so I'll just cut back and everything else.
We can afford to live, but if I had a family, I don't think I'd be able to manage.
But it's causing a lot of stress.
I'm just feeding myself now, and I do what I can.
Concerns that are likely to keep rolling along as inflation remains high. Aaron Collins, CBC News, Calgary.
Donald Trump says he has canceled a new round of airstrikes on Iran scheduled to begin Thursday night. The U.S. president says it's because of final points of a peace deal with Iran have been approved by all parties, and a signing ceremony will be held as early as this weekend in Europe. The unexpected reprieve comes after escalating hostilities in the Gulf region. The U.S. had been launching airstrikes on Iran for 2 straight days. Its Central Command says American forces also struck a third oil tanker in the Gulf of Oman that was allegedly trying to move Iranian oil through the U.S. blockade. Iran has been retaliating, saying the U.S. attacks had made the ceasefire meaningless. Its missiles targeted Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan, which all have American military bases. On social media earlier Thursday, Trump had said the United States would be hitting Iran very hard tonight and that the U.S. would assume total control of Iran's oil and gas industries.
Pope Leo has traveled to the epicenter of the European migration debate. He was in the Canary Islands, a Spanish archipelago off the coast of Africa. As the CBC's Chris Brown tells us, when it comes to migration, Spain is taking a different approach from the rest of Europe.
Migrants and asylum seekers are likely Europe's most incendiary issue now. Visiting Spain's Canary Islands, a deadly transit route for people smugglers, Pope Leo urged compassion. You have dreams no one has the right to despise, he told an audience which included migrants. The Pope's view counters loud voices across Europe demanding borders be hardened and blaming migrants for crime and eroding social cohesion.
Pope Leo's stance on migrants aligns with the Spanish government, which is offering hundreds of thousands of illegal migrants the chance to stay here legally. And that makes Spain an outlier in the European Union.
Spain is letting 500,000 illegal migrants obtain legal residency. Wendy Solorzano, a single mother from Honduras, hopes to qualify. She has a teenage son and a developmentally challenged baby who needs therapy. Critics point to the drain on social services, but she says she's ready to give back.
I'm a teacher. I can also help the Spanish people, right, to get my knowledge, right, as a teacher. I can be a good person here.
It's a measure to dignify the situation of these persons, but also for the government is a good measure because, yes, these persons now can pay taxes.
Spain's opposition parties fear the move will only encourage more people to risk their lives with dangerous journeys. And some economists argue Spain already has too many of the lower-paying jobs most of the migrants will fill.
Economic sectors to depend very much on low-paid workers, and those sectors are growing.
Still, for many of those in Spain illegally, the new law represents a rare lifeline, prompting a rush to get their paperwork in before the window closes. Chris Brown, CBC News, Barcelona.
More and more Canadian companies are using AI chatbots to save money and enhance customer service. But the technology isn't perfect. So what happens when the bot gets it wrong? Sophia Harris has the story of one customer who was misled by AI and what happened afterward.
After Zach Giacomelli's BMW required major repairs, he decided last month to sell it back to the BMW dealership where he bought the used car 3 years ago. At first, the process seemed easy.
Hi, Zachary. This is Quinn from BMW Toronto.
Quinn, who appeared to be a dealership rep, reached out by text and offered to buy back his BMW for $27,000, just enough to cover what Giacomelli still owed on the car.
I will come out at zero. I'm like, this is happening. I was so glad.
But that good feeling didn't last, because shortly after, the dealership revoked the offer, telling Giacomelli Quinn was an AI chatbot, and the offer it made was a mistake.
I was shocked. I was astounded. Like, my jaw was on the floor.
Giacomelli says the dealership then offered him, for real this time, around $20,000 for the car, about $7,000 less than Quinn's original offer.
I was devastated. If they're going to be replacing their employees' jobs with AI, then they need to be honoring what that AI says.
Canadian law has already established that companies can be held responsible for wayward bots. In 2024, a BC Civil Resolution Tribunal ordered Air Canada to compensate a passenger who got bad advice from the airline's chatbot and wound up overpaying for a plane ticket.
Just like an employee may do something wrong and the company's held responsible, a bot is just like an employee.
This litigation lawyer says, in Giacomelli's case, even though Quinn's initial offer was revoked before he accepted it, he could still argue he had an agreement because Quinn, the AI chatbot, had, by text, set up a meeting to lock in the deal.
That could be interpreted as a binding contract.
After CBC News reached out to the dealership, it reinstated Quinn's offer. Giacomelli immediately accepted. The dealership says it's now reworking its AI tools. Sophia Harris, CBC News, Toronto.
The Canadian men's soccer team is just one day away from their very first FIFA World Cup match on home soil. The players are in Toronto ahead of their match against Bosnia-Herzegovina in the city. The kickoff will be at 4 p.m. Atlantic. The team carries the expectations of a nation on its shoulders, but the players say they won't let the pressure distract them from their game plan.
Well, it's time to take a quick break now, but first, here's a look at how the markets did today. Canada's main stock index rose more than 500 points, helped by gains in the basic materials and consumer cyclicals sectors, as U.S. markets also gained ground. Oh, no, you forecasted it, Ryan. But yeah, the humidity, the little stickiness in the air, you certainly felt it today, that's for sure.
It's comfy, though, right?
It is
After
comfy.
all the cold and wet.
Yeah.
Reassuring, at least.
Yeah, that's right.
Summer on the way.
Reassuring that summer is slowly creeping in. Remember that. Hold it for Saturday. We just haven't been able to thread that weekend needle yet.
We're due.
We're due.
It's coming, right?
And this is what happened last year, right?
Yeah,
Where
okay.
weekend after weekend after weekend.
Yeah.
We all know how that ended.
Yeah.
So we don't want that either. But it'd be nice to get a couple of nice weekend days back to back. I really need to get that deck stained. Have a look at our weather picture of the day. And we are going to zoom in on St. Margaret's Bay. And yes, a terrific
very nice
spot here.
Tranquil.
Yes.
Certainly is.
I believe that's a morning shot from Mark, and thanks to Mark for this. Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. And yes, as we look at the forecast for tomorrow, looking at a pretty nice day once again. Variable temperatures across the northeast and the southeast, where those easterly winds are going to be blowing in. So 12 in Sydney, 20 in Port Hawkesbury, 24 for Inverness County, back towards New Glasgow, Pictou County, along that Northumberland shore even. Temperatures are going to be much cooler right along the coastline. Inland, though, warming up quite nicely. And then, into the 30s or high 20s at least from Truro back through the Annapolis Valley. As we look at the weekend forecast, that wind is more dominant from the east to southeast, limiting those temperatures, really limiting them for Sydney and down towards the eastern shore, climbing into the double digits, low teens for central areas, but a nicer day for Sunday. We will mix out to a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. A bit of a stubborn start to the day, but I think we'll eventually pop into the 20 to 24 range for many.
Okay, there you have it. Well, Brötchen is the German word for bread roll, and that's the name Berlin Zoo has chosen for the baby pygmy hippo born in May.
The month-old calf already weighs 20 kilos. That's more than 3 times how much it did at birth. These rare pygmy hippos are native to West Africa. The reclusive mammals are semi-aquatic and need to keep their skin moist.
Bread roll likes to wander around in the enclosure a lot, and zookeepers have to coax the little one out to get used to being in the water more.
That's
Seems to
adorable.
be getting along all right, though.
Yeah.
That's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.